Okay. Today we're going to talk about equations and problem solving. So using equations to solve problems. So I look at this first question on the board. It says the sum of three consecutive integers is 147. Find the integers. Remember, integers are just normal numbers. They could be positive or they could be negative. So three numbers right in a row, consecutive, that means right in a row, that are going to equal 147. So what we're going to do is, the first thing we're going to do is what is called defining a variable. So I'm going to say, and when you define a variable, for whatever reason, you always say let. I'm going to say let x equal, and I'm going to say what x is. So what am I trying to find here? I'm trying to find three different integers. So I'm going to say x is the first integer. So x is the first integer. So now I know there's two more. If x is the first integer, what would the second integer be? So if x is the first one, I know somebody thinking, okay, we'll say y. Well, we don't want to do that because we don't really want to solve an equation with multiple variables. But what I can do is, if x is the first one, I know these are three consecutive numbers. Three consecutive numbers means three numbers in a row. For example, 5, 6, and 7. That's three numbers right in a row. If 5 was the first number, what's the second number, right? The second number would be 5 plus 1, which would be 6. So it's going to be x plus 1. We add 1 to get from one integer to the next integer. So then what would the third integer be? The third integer would be x plus 2. X plus 2. Because if my first one is, say, 5, the next number would be 6. The next number would be 7. How do I get from 5 to 7? I add 2. So my three integers I've now defined as x plus 1, and x plus 2. And then let's go back to what it said. The sum of those integers, remember sum means adding things up, is or equals 147. So what I can do is I can add this first integer plus this second integer plus the third integer, and they have to equal 147. Now this looks like a long equation, but it's really not. What I would do to solve this is I would combine my like terms. So I got x plus x plus x. That's just 3x, 1x plus 1x plus 1x. I combine my numbers, 1 plus 2, that's just 3. And now you can see we have a much simpler equation to solve, just a two-step equation. Our first step would be to subtract 3. We're going to do that. We get 3x equals 144. We divide by 3, and we're going to get x equals 48. So we solved the equation. Let's go back now. It said find the integers. So three integers, consecutive integers that add up to 147. I know my first one's 48 because I already solved and figured out x, which was the first integer, is 48. So my second integer would be 48 plus 1, which is 49. And my third one would be 48 plus 2, which is 50. And if I checked myself and did 48 plus 49 plus 50, I get 147. So this is correct. All right, let's try another. The sum of three consecutive odd integers is 195. Find the integers. All right, there's an important difference between this one and the last question we did. It says consecutive odd integers. So that doesn't mean like, so if my first number was 9, my next number can't be 10 because 10's not an odd number. So it would be 9, then 11, then 13. That would be consecutive odd integers. So we're going to start this the same way, though. I'm going to say let x, define my variable here, and I'm going to say it's the first integer. I'm just going to write int to save myself some time. So if x is my first integer, that's the first number. Now what I got to do is, what's my second integer? How do I get from the first odd integer to the second odd integer? Well, again, if my first odd integer was 24, that's an even number. Wow, that was terrible. If my first odd integer was 23, what's my next odd integer? It'd be 25, right? 23, 25, 27, 29, and so on. How do I get from one odd number to the next? I add 2. So now this was the sum of three consecutive integers. I'm going to have a third one as well. And if x was my first one, x plus 2, I add 2 to get to my next one. I would add 4 to get to my third integer. So you can see there, I've got x as the first integer, x plus 2 as the second integer, x plus 4 as the third integer. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pick up my pen that I just dropped, and then we're going to solve this equation. First, we got to set up the equation, I guess. So I know these three integers add up to 195. So it'll be x plus 2 plus x plus 4. That's my first plus my second plus my third, and that equals 195. And now we're just going to solve this equation. We combine our like terms. X plus x is 3x. My number is 2 plus 4, that's 6. And that equals, I don't know why I wrote 196 over there. I should have written 195. Intentional mistake to make sure you were paying attention. So now I'm going to solve this. 3x plus 6 equals 195. I'm just going to subtract 6 from both sides. So 3x equals 189. Divide by 3. And that's going to be 63. So now my three consecutive odd integers are 63. My next one would be add 2, it would be 65. And then the next one would be 67. If I add those three numbers up, I am going to get 195, so I am correct. Let's look at our next one. The sum of 4 consecutive even integers is negative 84. Find the integers. We've got a negative number here. Doesn't really change a whole lot, honestly. So one thing I do notice is it's consecutive even integers. The other thing I notice is a little different in this one. There's 4 of them. So that means I'm going to have 4 things when I define my variable here. So I'm going to say x is my first integer, like I always do. So then I need to know my second, I need to know the third, and I need to know the fourth, because there's 4 consecutive integers. So one thing I've seen people like to do, they want to, because this is negative, they think, oh, I should subtract instead of add. Just keep adding. Don't do that. So if x is my first integer, since this is consecutive even integers, remember, if I've got an even number, let's say I've got the number 18, the next even number after that would be 20. So we add 2, just like we did with odds. To get from an even number to the next even number, you add 2. So x plus 2 would be my second. And the same thing is going to go. My third one would be x plus 4. My fourth one would be x plus 6. And then I'm told the sum of those 4 consecutive even integers is negative 84. So I'm going to add them up. X plus 2 plus x plus 4 plus x plus 6 equals negative 84. So you take out my first, my second, my third, my fourth. The underlining is not required. I just do that to kind of show, all right, first integer, second integer, third integer, fourth integer. All right. So I'm going to add these up now. I'm going to solve. I'm going to combine my like terms. I have 4 x's there, so that's 4x. My number is 2 plus 4 plus 6. That's 12. And this equals negative 84. I'm going to solve this, subtract 12 from both sides. So 4x equals negative 96. I'm going to divide by 4, and I get x equals negative 24. So now what I'm going to do is, that's my first integer, because that's what I said, x is the first integer. Now, I see people go wrong on problems like these. They're like, all right, negative 24, negative 26, negative 28. Go back to what you said. You said x plus 2 is the second integer. Negative 24 plus 2 is actually negative 22. Then we'd have negative 20, and then we'd have negative 18. And if you were to check yourself in your calculator, do negative 24 plus negative 22 plus negative 20 plus negative 18, you will get negative 84. So that is correct. All right. The sum of 4 consecutive integers is 50. So I want you to pause this one. I want you to try to figure this out yourself. One thing I want you to notice is it says consecutive integers. It doesn't say even or odd. All right, pause it, try to figure it out. All right, so we define our variables here. So x is going to be my first integer. There's 4 of them, so I'm going to have a second. I'm going to have a third, and I'm going to have a fourth. So this was consecutive integers. It didn't say even or odd. So to get from one integer to the next, I'm just adding 1. So we x plus 1, x plus 2, and x plus 3. So now I'm going to say add those up. and they equal 50. So now what I'm going to do is combine my x's, that's 4x, combine my numbers. 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6, and equals 50. Just a two-step equation, subtract 6. 4x equals 44, divide by 4, x equals 11. So my numbers are 11, 12, 13, and 14. If you check in your calculator, add those up, they add up to 50. All right, that is it for this lesson.